Alrighty. Time for D&D Thursdays. Curse of the Azure Bonds speedrun. Going to try probably my fourth different party and fourth attempt if you include my full game ones. Dropped my thief, figured out I really didn't need it after my combo game speedrun. Instead I've got a fighter mage. Go with my cleric, 2 paladins, ranger, and human mage. So let's go ahead and get this started. We awaken in a small room with these weird sigils on our heads. These tattoos are going to control us, force us to do the bidding of whoever gave them to us. First we need to make it faster. While we're here camped, we actually ought to rest as well. Memorize our spells. So first thing we have to do is get some equipment for our characters. We've got everything stolen from us, so once again, for the second game in a row, we have to buy stuff at the very beginning. Luckily, we can afford everything we want pretty much this time around. Pool of Radiance, when you start out, with starting first level character money, you don't have enough to buy plate mail for anybody, let alone all your fighters, but here, let's see, we want flail, we want a staff sling, shield and plate. Mostly she should be using the staff sling, which is good. Lots of darts, so she's set for the game. Game is a lot harder AI for me to figure out exactly how often my character is going to be using bows. Well, my cleric tends to use the staff sling a lot more reliably, though. Okay. Now we have to go to Sage Filani and learn a bit about these sigils. She can't tell us very much though, but it's required to go to her. She takes half our money. Guards won't let us through out of the city because the king's coming, so we wait around anyway and then the king attacks. Let's see. Yeah, let's make this simple as possible, hopefully. Excellent. Okay, they'll all be one shot now. We surrender. They throw us in jail, thieves break us out, tell us that the fire knives are trying to take over. And they're a new guild trying to supplant the Thieves Guild. They're mostly assassins. I went to the wrong door. Facing the wrong direction. These things are that weak. It's sad. Okay, let's go ahead and cast another hold person. I forgot to have her memorize hold person, speaking garbage. Oh well. Okay, she lost her spell. Kinda sucks. Oh wow, thanks for these. Thanks for the subscription, Zenpai. You are my first subscriber. Oh, I got it off. Must have attacked the thief instead. Convenient. And just oh, nice. Okay. Ouch. She wins so late, it's not worth it to use Fireball, unfortunately. Okay, luckily my people are deciding to favor bows now, so won't have to worry too much about my stinking cloud. Back to your characters, just charge through it here is rather inconvenient. Problem is you can't tell which thieves are the enemy and which aren't when you're casting. If you try to attack them, it'll ask you, but spells don't count as attacking for whatever weird reason. Now thieves are running away, which is very inconvenient. Haha, that was convenient though. Excellent. Okay. Oh, it was the Easter I wanted to go through. I still don't know the map very well. Curse the Azure Bonds. A bit hard to figure out how I entered the correct door in the first place. Release the hounds! That'll hit a few. Okay. So after saving the city of Flan, we're journeying around the rest of the Forgotten Realms, and we enter the town of Cormyr. She is nearly out of mana. That's great. Or spells, at least, the equivalent of. Oh, he has 1 hit point left. That's sad. We go to the land of Cormyr, into the city of Tilverton, where the king's supposed to be. He's looking to hire heroes to help deal with this fire knife threat. We're suddenly attacked on the way by this mysterious group that subdues us. We wake up in an inn in Tilverton like a month later, with a bunch of money that's been left for us so that we can rest in the inn as long as we like. But we also have all of our equipment gone, and we have these weird sigils on our arms that are magic, blue, and moving. Nobody knows anything about what's going on, at least not at first, so we have to try and figure that out. And when the king suddenly shows up, we attack him. Turns out not to be. Turns out to be a imposter pretending to be the king. Officially done by the king. Gorgiana Wyvernspur is actually an important person in the lore of Forgotten Realms. In several other books besides Azure Bonds, where he first appears, the book upon which this game is based. Okay. Need to memorize 2 whole persons. But he has skills of mimicry, so the king had him pretend to be him to try and oust any possible assassins. Turned out to be us, being controlled by the bonds, so the soldiers throw us in prison. Thieves break us out, and now we're in the Thieves Guild where this big war is going on, and we're trying to figure out how the fire knives are controlling us with these bonds. We're not dealing with random encounters, though. So we have to make our way through the thieves' hideout into the sewers. Okay. Menageries are bad. Way too many enemies. If I get lucky, I don't get a lot of encounters here. Unlucky, I do. Okay, now we're in a secret area of the sewers. I actually golded that, even by 17 seconds, I'm surprised. We don't get any encounters in this area, luckily. We can slip through past the checkpoints and such. No, that's a waste of time. The thief can climb up and get something if he's in light armor. Non-thieves can't do anything, but it's just a little, like, clue to adventure. There's some Otyugs in here. Otyugs in the sewers are one of the major places you can encounter. These Otyugs are friendly. They want this Otyug lair belonging to this other group, and they want us to wipe them out for them. We agree to, because they let us pass. We're not actually going to do it, because you don't do side quests and speedruns generally. Okay. Eventually, hopefully, I'll memorize these well enough to be able to go through them as well as I do Pool of Radiance, but, ooh, geez, and multiple trolls, and they all start first, of course. You can just shoot them. Jeez. We're getting clobbered. Good thing we can heal up pretty easily. And my mage is not going for a while. She needs Fireball spell to help deal with the trolls. Okay, that's a good place. Not a very good Fireball, unfortunately. Okay, not nearly as hard as they were in Pool of Radiance. We get a magic staff sling for our cleric now, as well as a flail. The girdles of the dwarves for +1 stamina. Don't know that it really helps anyone. Maybe I'll give it to Green. The racer, though, I actually need to give to Violet, so she has some actual armor. I'm not sure if that actually increases his hit points, even though it increases his health. If you have a Dwarven Fighter Thief, it gives them a 20 health, which does allow a 20 Constitution, which actually allows slow regeneration. Pretty convenient. That's what I want to do, get those bracers. Okay, with the monsters defeated, this is a safe place to rest. Resting is the only thing that gives encounters. He did get more hit points. Good. I never really paid attention before. He had 72, now he has 78. Lots of hit points. Alright, Fireball and Magic Missile. Memorize Bless and Prayer. Good buff spells to use before every major fight. find this secret door. This is a training hall. Would that be enough? It's 5 per, so no, it wouldn't be. Even if they could level up. Don't know if they can or not yet. Maybe the cleric could, but that's probably about the extent of it. We'll be coming back here, though, later on. Okay, into the guild hall. Okay, in this secret area we won't get any encounters. We will out here though. Again, we want to avoid them like that, because it's a big time waste. We're gonna have to do this pathway a little bit though, twice, so that we can get some items multiplied up to make everything easier for the rest of the game. What's kind of fun about this speedrun compared to Pool of Radiance is that I get to break the game super early from items that I find. Of course we're going to open it, why wouldn't we? Okay, we want that sword and that sword for now. You have another sword. That we're going to go ahead and trade 2 green. That sword should be a good one. Okay, so white is going to take the mace flail necklace. These bracers are cursed, we don't want them. Elven chainmail is not magical, so it's not actually good. I'm going to trade that to white as well. Can't remember which is better, but she actually has a decent amount of stuff, but oh well. Okay. Just in case we get more encounters. Like that. Technically, I could do it right here, though, couldn't I? With the save and quit. I've never tried. I'm actually going to. Normally, the only place in the game that you can... I'm too used to Pool of Radiance, actually. When the only place you can do any party management is when you're in a training hall. So I want to go back to the training hall. However, the load screen allows you to do that. So I might be able to do my manipulation here. So we're going to save the game as C now. Remove Violet from the party. Add our good old friend Bags. Trade this necklace and dust and this longsword to Bags. Let me make sure this is the right longsword. I believe it is, but 1d8 plus 8 with his strength. That's definitely a plus 3 sword. Yes, good. Okay, so now we're going to remove Bags, override him. Now we're going to drop the party. Load C. We have to remove Violet again. Add our good buddy Bags back. Hey Bags, give this necklace and dust back to white. Trade that longsword to silver. Remove Bags again. Save the game as C. Add Bags. Getting a lot quicker at this. And silver has one as well. Trade that to Bags. Load C. Add our good buddy Bags again. Trade that longsword to green and that one to blue. Now I don't need to worry about any more longswords. Trade white, the dust, and the necklaces. Remove. Save the game to C. Add bags back to party again. We've got even more stuff for you now, bags. Okay, now drop. I hope I saved it before I added them again. I think I did. It's hard to know. Let's see. Blue has 2 longswords, so one will be the +3, so yes, I did. Good. And bags. And of course, white has all those dusts and necklaces. So bags. Trade those to silver. C. Bags. Okay, this will be the last time I'll need to do this, I believe. Okay, now... Okay. Now we've got lots of necklaces and lots of dust. Powerful items away. Let's add Violet back to the party. Let's give Violet a couple of necklaces. And let's begin adventuring. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cast our Bless and our Prayer here. We're also going to go ahead and use some of this dust. Oh, also, I can wear this banded mail for now. It's as good as the plate mail, but better. It wants me to move more. The Fire Knives, even though we're invisible, see us and demand our surrender. We surrender, so we get taken to the leader instantly. No time passes. We start a fight. Because they can't see us, they want to shoot us with arrows, but they can't do it. Good old Dust of Disappearance. Most broken weapon in the game. Oh, I didn't want to quick. I want to use this other marvelous item I have. Oh, that's a good one. Right off the bat. Necklace of Missiles allows you to throw a number of fireballs. Even though it's called missiles, they're actually fireballs. Yeah, it's great. Some of them are really weak, some of them are really powerful. So with these 2 items, a lot of the rest of the game is going to be pretty easy. This is a glitch of sorts in the game. It's not really a glitch, but just kind of an exploit with the way the system works with... Okay. Yeah, fine. With using character data, how you're allowed to remove and add characters all you like. And save certain characters and save games. The characters in the pool are irrespective of your save games, so... I need to make sure my necklaces are off because my characters will use them and they're horrible with them. They will damage the party as much as us, such that their intelligence with it is so lacking that they will actually throw a spell right in the middle of the party in order to hit one enemy who's immune to the spell. Oh god, 1 hit point left. That's so horrible. There we go. Nothing good on them. Nicasia the princess gets the fire knife to take the thing off of us. We find out there are 4 other people, though, who have control of us, so 4 of the 5 bonds remain. Gonna camp first and memorize our spells. That's 3 magic missiles, that's right. Okay. Now we're going to journey on to Ashbin Ford by trail. We get attacked by hippogriffs en route. This is a set encounter. Fireballs are not as effective outdoors. They only have an AoE of 2 instead of 3. Oh, wow. Still do a good job, though. That would hit my guy. So I can only hit one of them or the other. Let's go ahead and hit you. Oh, there's another guy up there who I almost could have hit. There we go. If I really am desperate, I can multiply some more necklaces, but this should be enough to see me through the game. Okay, now in the town, we can go to the inn. Let's see, so we can rest up. Okay, we do have plenty of money now, that's good. We collected a lot from the treasury. Let's go ahead and fix. A wonderful command that causes our healers to cast and memorize spells to heal us. I didn't use any magic, did I? Okay, good. That's all I need. Alright. Let's go to the store first, though. Let's pool and identify our items. Mostly this is just a money change, and so that I know what's going on. Don't need that. That's the Firebrand is a really good longsword. Girdle of the Dwarves has -1 charisma, +1 constitution. One character with 17 charisma doesn't actually hurt. Okay. Now in the hall, hopefully we can train some people. Train a ranger, cleric, fighter, and magic user. Magic user wants to learn haste. That's gonna be it. Let's see, don't need anything else, so we're gonna leave. Journey on to the Standing Stone through the wilderness. If we go by the trail, fire knives attack us. The strange guy tells us to seek red to the south. He tells us about our journey. He's Tarantraxus in disguise, but we can't do anything about him. Assembra, we go by trail. Gonna camp and save here because there's another set encounter between Hap and Assembra. No matter which way we go, we get attacked by black dragons. Very, very annoying battle. Dragons are glass cannons in this edition of D&D. Later D&D makes them really super powerful. They're still reasonably powerful, but mostly they are seriously glass cannons. These ones, for instance, only have 48 hit points, which isn't a few, but it's not a huge amount. But they can breathe for that same 24 48 points of damage, 24 if you save. So guaranteed 24 points of damage unless you have resistance to acid, which is a lot harder to come by in these games. There's like occasionally fire resistance or such things, cold resistance maybe, but acid resistance especially is really hard to get. So okay, there we go. Now down to 1. If I can get it before it breathes, that will be pretty helpful. And I did. Good. Okay, we're going to camp here because Hap is an unfriendly place. Memorize my new haste spell. I also have another Dispel Magic I can memorize. Okay, Hap is being run over by Dark Elves under the command of Dracandros, as well as an Ifrit who commands them here. They don't like us. But if we're meek to the Dark Elves, they'll leave us alone. Okay. Cast Haste. Cast Bless. Cast Prayer. And here's our fight with the Ifriti. Now, unfortunately, Dark Elves are nearly immune to magic. They have like 50% magic resistance, so even all these necklaces and missiles don't really help a lot. So it's easiest just to use our haste to smash them down. I guess I can go ahead and have her throw it just in case. It damages the Ifriti, believe it or not. That's pretty wild. And First Ed, Ifriti are not immune to... Oh, that's bad. I made a big mistake. I forgot to use my Dust of Disappearance. I did save right before this. I need to... Dust of Disappearance doesn't work nearly as well if you use it in combat, so I forgot the most important thing of all. Okay, where did I save exactly? Right outside the door, that's what I thought. Okay, good. So let's use up our dust. Oh, I need to identify those potions. That's what I need to identify. I'll have another chance. I don't need them yet. Potions I usually save for the end game. Violet, cast Haste. White, cast Bless and Prayer. And now. Same thing, except now, since we're invisible, they can't cast spells on us. Okay, don't have a necklace equipped. Go. Don't have a necklace. Has a necklace equipped. Go ahead and use your necklace. He does take slightly less damage from the fireball. Yay for haste. Doubles the movement and number of attacks of all my characters, so once fighters start getting up into the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th levels, they start doing 3 to 4 attacks per round with haste on. They become really powerful, especially with the +3 sword that I used. Dark Elves will surrender, because they're intelligent. Yes, what do I want? I'm not going to bother. I'm going to go ahead and let her hang back. And I could give her a +3 Drow Mace, but town's really happy. Akbar Belakash is here, but we're not going to use him because he's inconvenient. Again, most of the enemies we're fighting are going to be immune to magic, and he's just a magic user, so he's useless except for magic. Plus, he throws fireballs at the party and damages them. Not fun. So, he unfortunately, especially in a speedrun, is more trouble than he's worth. I could have used Dust of Disappearance before this battle. I kind of forget about it, but any events that move you to new places don't actually take up any time. So even though theoretically we should be spending a lot of time moving from area to area, Dust of Disappearance would be just as good here. But these guys aren't a really terrible threat, so it's not that big a deal. For the most part, I don't have to worry too much about encounters here because you can flee from most of the Dark Elves, and I'll be able to avoid several of the other patrols entirely by doing a quick collecting a side quest that we're not going to fulfill because side quests and speedruns don't mix. Sharing the money is it's a little bit quicker. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and save though. Okay, now I've entered the Cave of the Dracolich. Yes. Okay, get my next map ready. Okay. Yep, we just flee. Jeez, bad luck there, but as long as we can flee, which I think we can do freely. Getting a lot of encounters, and none of them Silks people. Certain of them, if we have Silks marked that we just went and collected, they will spot the mark and just leave us alone. See, like that group there. Goes a little bit quicker when I'm ready for it, at least. Okay, gonna go ahead and this is a place to use some dust. Not going to cast my spells yet, though this is a lesser fight. Don't have my spells either, so... These swords are super effective against salamanders, because the +3 Frostband is a special 1st edition weapon that's a +3 weapon at its base, but it does +6 against fire-using creatures, elementals of fire, etc. Or anything else that's vulnerable to cold. So it's not only +6 to damage, but +6 to hit. Not theoretically as effective as just doing double damage because it's cold would be, but still pretty useful. Okay, now I'm going to cast my spells because this is a tough fight. Go ahead and save it too, just in case. So the Dracolich can use a paralysis gaze on us through... I think he might be immune to fireballs as well, but I can't remember. We'll find out. Nope, he takes some damage. Yep, he can... Oh geez, see? That is exactly why. He one-shot us there. I'm going to reload that. I'm not going to deal with that. It's a quick enough load. Versus possibly my character being dead, or I'm not quite sure what. Some reason I got rid of my... I closed the wrong thing. I closed my map instead. I was wondering what was going on. Blue has only 26 hit points left, which I guess is why he went down, but... Okay, I've already cast my spells, so... White is paralyzed, yep. Even though we're invisible, he can still use that paralysis gaze on us. And he's got a ridiculous... It doesn't have a usual effect when it goes off, too. Okay, there we go. Okay, we'll save here. We come to Dracandros. He takes control of his bonds, teleports us to the top of the tower, where he tries to convince these dragons that we are part of a group of humans that's trying to wipe them out. They don't fall for it, though, when he orders us to an attack an illusion and says, release them from your control and we'll see what happens. So, if we parlay with the dragons, nice, or we attack Dracandros, then the dragons are like, yeah, dumb Dracandros, we're not listening to you. And they'll actually go away and leave us alone. Now we have to deal with his guards. As he runs away to the bottom of the tower, now we have to go back down the tower to him. He's released us from his bonds, but he has one of the 3 artifacts we need to defeat Tyrant Traxxas, the final boss. Blue took a lot of damage. Nope, don't want that spell. White is not using too many spells. Maybe just 4 fighters would actually end up being better than 3 fighter mage with. I'm still tweaking my... I did that a lot with... Oh, no. You need to... It needs to be Bless and Prayer. And I really need those for this upcoming fight. Okay. Well, it doesn't do as much good, but we're going to go ahead and use some dust. We're going to go ahead and cast Haste, which is the most important buff, because we need as many chances to hit this guy as we can. So Bless and Prayer are also useful for that. Let's see. This should work. We'll find out when we go down. Okay. Saving the game, and... So this Dark Elf Lord here is incredibly, incredibly horrible. Okay. So we're actually good here. He has a -7 armor class, 108 hit points, a +5 Drow Longsword. He's nearly immune to magic, so I can't do much. Yeah, -7 armor class is so hard to hit. I actually did damage to him there, that's nice. Of course, blue is taking damage, because blue always takes the damage. Without haste, I have almost no chance to kill him, it takes so long. I have a very, very small chance of getting him with Hold Person. Or with Stinking Cloud. If I do, it's nice. Otherwise... Oh, yes! There we go. It actually affected him. Okay. Now he has +3 plate mail, +2 shield, and a +5 Drow Longsword. Which are all, of course, very awesome. We'll trade the Banded Mail to Silver for now, who has less strength. We can drop that. Eventually everyone's going to get this, and actually that anytime could be actually right now. I think I'm going to. Since I can do it from saves, which I hadn't really thought of before. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up, where we can rest freely on the roof. Anywhere else we have a chance of being attacked. So we're going to memorize our... We used all of our spells except Fireball, because that would have been useless. Bless, we use 2 Hold Persons, and the Prayer. Okay, it'll go a lot faster once she makes 7th level and I get my next healing spell finally. You don't get any between 1st and 4th. So fixes is super fast, but it's faster than resting for days like we do in Pool of Radiance. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and quit the game. Load it back up. This will be the last time I'll be using this glitcher exploit. Because I want to give this armor to everybody just as a quick safety measure. And with that, it's almost faster to, once I get one more Dust of Disappearance on, it's actually faster to go through the few random battles rather than Did I not save it as C? Oh, I didn't. Although, it's not entirely bad. I loaded up the wrong game, but I still have the +3 plate and shield on him, so... +3 plate, +2 shield. Best armor and shield in the game. There's actually one other copy of each that we'll be getting from another boss later on, which we won't have to worry about since we've already got that now from these. Okay, remove, add, bags. So trade his plate mail and his shield to blue. Remove him. Okay, save the game as C. Now add bags back in again. Okay, trade the plate mail and the shield to bags. Plate mail and shield to bags. Remove and overwrite him, drop everybody. Add bags. Trade to green. Trade to white. Save the game as C. Now I just need to multiply one more. Oh, nope. Although that's pointless. She has too much stuff, so she actually didn't get it. Oh well, so that means I'll need to do 2 shields. Not a super big deal. Yep, he still has that shield. That's fine. Okay. Okay, trade that to silver, trade that to white, trade that to silver. Oh, I actually didn't need to do the second one. Oh well. Because she doesn't have the shield on. There! Now we have all -7 armor classes. Go ahead and drop that shield so it doesn't mess with the game later. No. Remove him from the party so he stays. Add Violet back to the party again. Maybe I should have gotten another necklace or 2 for her while I was doing that. Oh well. Because she's using it a lot more than the others since she doesn't have a lot of great combat. Okay. The main reason I want a human mage is just so I have haste for that fight. Okay, let's see. I always have trouble getting lost in these areas. Okay, I want to go here. No, we don't want to enter. How big is this contingent? I forgot to save the game, so only a low chance of working, but darn it. Darn it. Good. Doing damage to him will prevent him from casting. And with -7 armor classes, they're going to have a hard time hitting us now. Okay. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, these fights are pretty short now, so I want to use Dust of Disappearance before I get in any more, just for safety's sake, but oh, darn it. I wasn't supposed to do that. He took some money from me, which doesn't mean much, but he took... Yeah, he took items too. Darn it. That's... Now I'm going to have to reload. It's an illusionary dark elf, but he'll take stuff from me. He's identical to the Lord. I hit return too quickly there. That's bad. I can't stand to lose that stuff on my cleric. If it was just money, it wouldn't be a big deal. You attack him and he vanishes, so it's not like it's anything dangerous at all. I just did the wrong option. Okay, is this before? No, I did save it. That's right. Because it was right after the fight. That's right. Good. Good thing I did that save. Enter doesn't work nearly as much, and the differences in controls between here and Pool of Radiance are actually somewhat significant and tricky, especially when we've been playing both games a bit. Okay, this is going to be the next set fight, so let's go ahead and use our dust. And then we can just do any amount of random encounters from this point on, because they should be pretty quick. Guarded by dark elves and owl bears. Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. They start out, there's so many of them, they start out, even your magic user starts really close to one. We don't want that, so... yeah, I have to go there. It's the same either way. It's really a difficult area, the second area of the game with the Dark Elves. You can actually do the 3 middle difficulty areas in any order, but they are definitely intended for certain levels. And this one, relative to its level, is really tough, but the other ones would be even worse. Yeah, I don't want to throw fireballs at this point and damage my own party. But it's tough to deal with because these casters can throw spells at you, but you can't throw them at them because they're nearly immune. And actually, it's kind of funny. This Necklace of Missiles is really great, but it is difficult to use for the middle portions of the game. Its value is greatly decreased because of the creatures that are here. So we have this thing. If you successfully read it, supposedly you can avoid a trap along the way, but I've never been able to successfully read it. Yeah. 3 Dark Elves will bench them quick. Did he hit one of us? That's funny. So now not as bad as it used to be. Okay, let's see. I'm going south. Yeah, this is where. We have to do this. That's kind of funny. Ifriti leads a band of dark elves. Slightly larger group, unfortunately. But not a big deal. Oh, we got hit twice there. The -7 armor class these guys probably have it. If they're 5th-ish level fighters with +3 longswords and an okay strength, they're probably... Thaco, you're looking at probably an 11, so they need to roll an 18 on a 20-side die to hit us, so about a 15% chance. That's a rough estimate, but probably pretty close. Maybe a little bit better than that. Could be as high as a 25% chance if their level or stats are a little higher. Man. Getting a lot of encounters today. There are 4 different ones. The previous one I fought 2 of is just the 2 Dark Elf fighters and the Dark Elf cleric. That's one of the better groups. Because there's only the 3 of them. There's a Salamander-led patrol, which is like 2 Salamanders and a Dark Elf. Super easy. Or is it 3 Salamanders? Something even easier than that. The Ifriti one's the worst. The Armored Contingent's a little rough. Now we're going to fall in and get hit with spikes. Again, you can avoid that by supposedly... Let's go ahead and heal up Silver. Paladins can do this heal, which is conveniently nice. So that will help us out a little bit. Okay, yes, actually. Okay, I'm not sure if I still have dust, if it'll last through the next couple of battles, so I'm going to go ahead and use another group of it here. Some wyverns here. And again, since we're invisible, we don't have to worry much about them. These guys we can fireball as well, so that's convenient. That's kind of funny. And a weak one. Okay. Okay, now let's save. Cast haste. Cast bless and prayer. Now we have Dracandros. Good, he hit Dracandros. That means that Dracandros won't be able to cast. I don't have a safe place to throw fireballs, do I? Because my two guys just happened to circumvent them. Yeah, whatever. I do a little bit of damage to Afridi with it, but it's pretty... Most of what she can do at this point, though, is pretty low-key. Magic Missile on the Afridis is the best overall. Okay, if Dracandros gets off Fire Shield, it becomes a kind of dangerous fight, because Fire Shield is a damage shield, similar if you've seen other games that have them. You take damage equal to the damage you deal, so it's... We'll ravage ourselves while we're killing him. It's pretty nasty. Once we kill a few more of these guys, the rest should surrender. With haste and the powerful weapons, we just mow through them. And with invisibility in this armor, we're so hard to hit. Because that actually does lower armor class as well, effectively. Okay, some really important stuff here for her to take. She wants the quarterstaff, the ring, and the bracers. Forget our other bracers. These are the bracers we want. We can drop our dagger now. I forgot to check those scrolls as well. They mostly just have a bunch of 4th level spells, though, so nothing super big. Oh yeah, and the ring. Of course the ring, for more protection. Boom. Oh yeah, and it's the cloak that takes her more. And now, the robe is not good, but the wands are excellent, the ring is super awesome, and the scrolls, I guess. I don't really use the scrolls much, but this will allow her to memorize a lot more spells. We should have haste for a little bit too, so... Nope, guess haste is already gone. Of course. I kind of suspected that I'd get one last battle right before the end here. I'm just glad that we have a lot less people to tangle with than we did in all the Pool of Radiance battles. Okay. Wilderness. Depart. Okay. Let's go ahead and camp. Memorize our spells. Yeah, I haven't been using my magic user, fighter magic user at all. Okay, journey to Asembra. Store. Pool view items. Need to know what the difference is between those. And the potions. Giant strength, visibility, speed, extra healing. Okay. Alright, plenty of money to memorize all of our spells. Way too much money, in fact. Wonder how much the gems weigh. What happens if I drop 32 gems? Not very much, yeah. It's mostly the coin. The coin is super weighing her down. Scrolls as well, probably. Because she doesn't have much else. Necklaces don't weigh anything. Maybe all the darts. I probably don't need darts anymore. They're decent early game for killing guys that I sleep and hold, but at this point I'm not going to be doing much of that. Fireballing everything to existence is quicker. Okay, let's train our guys. I probably ought to go with Rangers because getting them to level 5 quicker is probably better than the small advantage I get from healing Paladins. And, okay, it's good to learn Fireball because it's generally the most useful. I forgot who was the multi-level person too. Yeah, whatever. Ice Storm's the most useful. I can probably scribe that as well, but yeah, they're actually able to level again. I lost a lot of experience because of that. Yeah, going with Rangers is probably the better thing. They also get a slight damage bonus. The Paladins don't get quite as much benefit that's useful in the speedrun. I'm just super prone to Paladins. I love Paladin characters. It's always been my favorite class. Okay, I guess that's everything, so we'll go ahead and go back to the inn. Scribe. Just trying to get rid of these scrolls. Cure serious wounds will now allow us to fix faster. Okay, used all those up, still have those. But we're fine now. Now I can use the wands in addition to the necklace, and they're usually a little bit more reliable. Okay. Now we need to journey to the Standing Stone via trail. He tells us stuff again. Now he tells us we're to go after Ulash. Actually, Ulash is right there, isn't it? I usually go up around, but it might be faster to go to Hillsfar. Hillsfar is not a place I want to go to because of the Zentrim mark on us. They hate us. They think that we're with Zentil Keep. A green-robed group, you can attack them. They're cultists of Moander. So here we are, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and save the game. Enter the city. We ask permission because that's better. The guards take us. We parley. We go with the guards. Come and wait until you're called. The Zentil Keep spies go. We let them go because it takes time to fight them. The commander takes us. As long as we respond haughty, he likes us because we have a swan maid. That's the other reason we get that mark. So that allows us to avoid fighting any of these guys or any fights whatsoever. And now we can exit out into the city of Ulash, which is under attack between the forces, the Red Plumes of Hillsfar, and the forces of Zentil Keep. Where was I? Yeah, I just went back one, although it also turned me around for some reason. Got me a bit lost. Okay, the green robe cultists don't want to mess with me right now. This is a set fight coming up, so we're going to use more dust. How much dust do I have, by the way? 4 on him. And 3 on him still. And 2 on him. Okay, we're fine for dust. 9 dust should get me through the game. Forces of Zentil Keep jump us, including three mages. Who all have, I think they have spell shields. I'm going to find out really quick. They can also cast Fire Shield, which is the slight problem, even though I can't. Yep. Let's see. This is what I need to do. Because they have Globes of Invulnerability, I believe, but that doesn't protect against Ice Storm. This is not a good place for it, but I can start using I can use Necklace of Missiles on these guys, but unfortunately we're a bit too close together. Come on, they only have 2 armor classes. Okay, now the mages are down. I'm just gonna let our fighters kill the rest. Cleric surrendered. Okay, yeah, those guys will flee when we leave them alone. We don't want to fight Shambling Mounds. Except these ones we want to because they have some good loot. Okay. I moved myself in a bad position. Now I can't get all 4. Cold does half damage to them, but fireballs do nothing. So this is where my Ice Storm Wand is most useful, because I could just do a little bit of damage to all of them, even if it's not much. It's better than I was doing against the Dark Elves. Shambling Mounds have a lot of hit points. I think I'm good enough here, though. They can do a lot of damage too, so having -7 armor class really helps. And of course, invisibility. Okay, Cleric was clutching a Bone Wand, so now we get a Wand of Lightning and Defoliation. Lightning you don't want to use on them because they get stronger when you hit Shambling Mounds with Lightning, but... we don't have a Dwarf to lead us past this pit, so... We'll get our only NPCs here because it's just as easy to let them join. That's a super easy area to get through. Parlay, nice. It's funny, the first default is refuse them, and then they're like, are you sure you don't want us? Oh yeah, actually we do. Because it's just as easy to. And here's our big fight, so now we're going to go ahead and use some more Dust of Disappearance. We're going to go ahead and cast our haste spell. And our Bless and Prayer. So the High Priest begins the ritual to revive Moander using our bonds, but it goes wrong, our bond goes away, and Actually, this isn't... Actually, no, yes. First thing I want to do is fireball the priests, including the big priest. Bring her down. Oh, that's a good one. 20 damage. Okay, so that's them mostly gone. At this point, magic missiles will go work fast on her. Yeah, go ahead and start chopping up the shambling mounds. Mogion has a -5 armor class, so she's hard to hit, but she's totally vulnerable to magic. I was about to use dust. It's a good thing that I didn't have it equipped. Okay, Wand of Defoliation does AoE damage to shambling mounds in a small cone. Huge amounts of AoE damage to shambling mounds. It's pretty much only useful in this area, but it's a really powerful weapon in this area, so... And it doesn't affect anything but plant-based monsters, so shambling mounds and vegapygmies, as well as the bits of Moander that we have to fight next. Because the ritual went wrong before the god could come fully through the portal, our bonds disintegrated, and now we dealt with the cult's leaders and main priestesses, but now there are 3 bits of Moander that made it through, and we have to deal with them. We're gonna quick, yeah. Oh, darn, I forgot to pick up some items. Not that it matters. But she had another suit of +3 plate mail I could have given to Elias or Dragonbait just for kicks and giggles. Also, a Cloak of Displacement, which was the nice thing. That gives a +2 armor class bonus to everybody at this point, which is pretty nice, but not vital. I could have multiplied it as well and given all my main fighters a -9 armor class, but it's not a big deal. Since I already have invisibility, it's the -2 to -7 is a pretty big jump, but -7 to -9 isn't all that big a deal. Would have helped the mage a little, -5 to -7, but still not super necessary. These things have like 140 hit points each and a 0 armor class, so this is a pretty tough fight casually when you don't have infinite amounts of Dust of Disappearance, because they'll charge in. The best strategy to do is they are actually vulnerable, believe it or not, to, of all things, Stinking Cloud. So you build a wall of Stinking Clouds with your mages and let them charge into it. Even if Stinking Cloud doesn't make them choke and gag if they make the saving throw, if they start to cough, which is pretty much automatic unless they're immune or a magic resistance, they will get minus to their armor class and their 2 hit. Pretty significantly, too. It's pretty nasty debuff. And since there are no damaging level 2 spells, it's the best level 2 spell by far for a normal game. Unless you're actually playing totally legit random stats, hard mode. So your characters don't have maximum stats, then an 1850 strength from the strength spell is not bad. Okay, that fight's done. We find the gauntlet, and now they're going to try and kill us. These are going to be annoying fights, so I'm probably going to reload most of the fights. The door locked behind us automatically. Hooray for Super Metroid doors. How many of them? I went down a long way. And I'm still invisible. Only 3? Yeah. Whatever. Oh, I need to go Wand of Defoliation them for maximum damage. battles against this few characters, battles in Pool of Radiance were a lot longer, so it was really bad to be doing things like random battles, but with only 3 creatures each and with Dust of Disappearance on us, they're not so bad in this format, in this game. Probably still a little bit quicker to reload if I just saved, but these smaller fights. The next area I'm going to be reloading a lot because the fights are bad. We're rolling horribly. If the RNG is bad, it's definitely not faster to take the encounter. Haha. One step. Nope, definitely not worth it to keep. Vegapygmies here. This is a set encounter. Luckily, Vegapygmies are not soggy like Shambling Mounds are. They are very crisp green enemies, so they fall very quickly to fireballs. Super easy fight. Wander Fanatics, no. That probably could have been a relatively quick fight, but... Oh, jeez. Would have been faster to fight the cultists because they fucking get fireballed down. Come on. That. Why do I keep getting encounters there? If it's cultists, I'm taking it next time. We can evade the slugs, luckily. Went too far. Okay, final encounter of the area. I think I still have my dust. We're about to find out. First thing we're going to do is fireball down the cultists and Vegapygmies, and then deal with the Shambling Mounds with swords and Defoliation afterwards. That was a good one. Okay, this will finish them off. Yep, still invisible. The Shambling Mounds are like, what do we do? Okay. Normally, when they have nothing to do, they'll guard, and that will enable them to attack the first person that approaches. However, since we're invisible, they can't hit us with the guard, just by guarding. They can attack us in regular melee, but... Oh crap. I forgot to take the necklace off of him. Yeah, that's why you don't want people to equip necklaces when you use quick combat. I usually forget that like at least once a game. He used up his last one. Well, at least he can't do that anymore. Not with this one. Luckily, I have a lot of hit points, so a small one doesn't hurt us as much. I took yours off, right? Super dead. We're rolling like it was Pool of Radiance here. Like we have no Thaco whatsoever. We should be hitting well more than half the time. And we should be attacking twice around. There we go. That's some hits. Okay. Okay. Alright, that's third section done. I'm just gonna fix, because I shouldn't get into any combat. Going to go ahead and journey to Vunlar. Let's go ahead and go to the hall. Yes, train. I would like a lightning bolt, please. Train, yes. Train, yes. Train. Now my paladins have caught up, I think, but another lightning bolt, please. Okay. In adventuring. Okay, store. Let's change out some money. 360, so we're doing mostly fine on money. Okay. Yeah. Now let's go to the inn. We're considered Zentrum Gentry because of our sigils. Again, some people like you more, or at least will be nicer to you. And some of them will attack you because of the Zento Keep mark on you. Okay. Haste. The way the screen wraps in this game is pretty annoying. Okay, now we need to journey back to Ulash. And then to Zentil Keep. Okay. Camp. Save the game just in case. Enter the city. A couple of shops you can use here. For the most part, they're not great. Although there is a magic shop you can actually get stuff in casually. Nice to the priests, and they leave you alone. So now Zentil Keep has put bonds on us as well. She leads us into where her friend Dimsword is, this little halfling bard thief, Olive Russkettle. We rescue him. He doesn't join our party, he's just a sage, can't do anything in combat. There's some loot and stuff we can get here, but we're not going to bother. We just need to come north into here. This woman promises to lead us out. We'll follow her because otherwise we get attacked. Fazal, this Zentil Keep Lord, is trying to use us as a weapon, or rather to be controlled soldiers to use these powerful lawful good weapons he's gotten. But, oh, I forgot to get prepared for battle. Oh good, I didn't get one here. That's actually really nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use some dust here because we have a very good chance of getting into a lot of encounters. One encounter by the door, I'll take it since I used dust. These are a couple of good places for lightning bolts. As well, of course, fireballs. She has a wand of fireball. The wand of defoliation is now useless. I think there are like a couple enemies in Myth Draenor that can do it. I entered the Cave of the Beholder, by the way. Always forget to do that. There's a very high chance of encounter in this room because the two different forces of Zentil Keep are fighting each other and we're getting caught in the middle. So this, oh, I forgot about that. That actually worked out well, though. He surrenders, good. So Fazal wanted that, but the Beholder Dexum is kind of a different faction, and he wants to upstage Fazal as a servant of Bane. And so he had his Medusa companion lead us away from Fazal's clutches in Zentil Keep so that he can study the bonds on us and find out what his party is up to. What Fazal wanted from us was to have us use these lawful good weapon caches they've got. And unfortunately, we can't find these. And this is the case even if you have an evil party. But because we're heroes, we're supposed to be good guys according to the canon lore. And so by controlling us and letting us use these things, we can be powerful soldiers at his command. But Dexum kidnaps us, sort of, brings us here in any case. But before he gets a chance to study us or anything, this is a set encounter here. Can't do anything about it. More Minotaurs and Priests. Now we can really start using lots of necklaces of missiles, though. Suddenly, Fazal breaks in with his troops, and he's like, "These people belong to me, and they're my jurisdiction, and they will be as long as I'm alive." And so Dexum in anger says, "Okay then," and
uses his disintegrate ray on him and kills him. And since he just died, we get released from our bonds. And then the beholder's like, well, I guess since they don't have those weird bond things on him anymore, they're of no use to me. And so he wanders away, and we're caught in the middle of the fighting between the two factions. The Zent'il Keep forces that were loyal to Fazal, and the priests of Bane, led by Dexam. So now we're trying to track him down because he has, conveniently, all of these people happen to have or be close to the, not gonna bother with anything. The, items that can be used to free us from, the control of Tyrandraxxus and help defeat Tyrandraxxus. The Helm of Dragons that was held by Dracandros, the Gauntlet of Moander, and the Amulet of Lathander, which is held by Dexam. Although he didn't also bond us, he's the only one who is the area, but it just so happens that he's got a hold of it, and he's in the same place as the guy who had us bonded. Pretty good encounter luck here. I've only had one encounter I've had to reload. Okay, here's the last fight with Dexam. We're going to go ahead and make sure to refresh Dust of Disappearance. We're going to go ahead and cast our Haste and our other buff spells, because this is the big fight. We've caught up to Dexam and his minions. The Hooded One reveals herself to be a Medusa. Medusa's gaze can go through invisibility for some reason, even though the beholders can't, so I have to make sure to take her out quickly. Then I don't have to worry about using silver mirrors or anything inconvenient like that. The beholder is immune to magic because of his anti-magic ray. He could theoretically fire a beam at us and remove the Dust of Disappearance, but the game is not programmed to operate that way, and that was a really powerful necklace of missiles. So it's just as effective against him. He can't shoot us with his ray, so he's pretty much pointless. But his anti-magic ray does make him effectively immune to magic. So we can fireball down his Minotaurs, but he is going to have to be taken out through weapons, which is why we use haste and such, although it's probably a bit overkill. Jeez. Haste is so powerful. Doubling your movement and attacks is super awesome. And then we're immediately attacked by force of Zent'il Keep. That seems to happen like all the time. Can't do anything about it. That's okay. Since we're still buffed from our previous fight, this is super duper easy. Luckily, these mages do not have a Globe of Spell Shield, Minor Globe of Vulnerability on, so I can use anything on them. I should probably go ahead and keep fireballing him down. Prayer! Yay, you keep praying. That'll save you from my necklaces of missiles. Surely. Wand of Fireballs is slightly more reliable damage than the Necklace of Missiles, because the Necklace of Missiles is a random power fireball in addition to the damage being random, so they can be like 9 and 4 hit point fireballs, but the wand will almost always do between like 15 and 25-ish. You know, just whatever average for set. Okay. Let's see, this is another set encounter. Let's see, Wand to get further back. Wand has a better range than the Necklace of Missiles as well, because the way it's supposed to work is that it has a number of these little beads on it, and you pull a bead and throw it, and it turns into a fireball. So it has a different range as well as... and that's why it could be a random amount, because each of the beads has old, especially old first edition AD&D magic items are actually pretty fascinating. The way Gary Gygax and the other developers designed them is that they made a lot of magical items have unique personality of their own from the beginning. And later things would, of course you have a lot of your basic +1 weapons, but it's like the Frost Brand has special attributes, and there are some obvious enemies that it does extra damage to, but a few that are less obvious. Things like the Flame Tongue is either +1 to +4, depending on what you're attacking with it, such things. But they just have certain unique properties and stuff. That's also the reason why anybody can use the Necklace of Missiles, unlike wands that you have to be a skilled spellcaster to be able to use. You can just... Oh, I didn't drop that yet. Because anybody can pluck a bead off of a necklace and toss it. Okay, this is a nasty encounter because it's another Dark Elf Lord. Unfortunately, this one we don't get to keep as equipment. And some Manticores, who could theoretically throw spines at us, but they can't see us because of the wonderful Dust of Disappearance. We're a lot higher level now, so the Lord is not quite as bad as he normally would be, but he's still a problem. He still has a nearly impossible to beat magic resistance. As well as being such a high level fighter, he has a good chance of hitting us. But again, we're so much higher level now, and now we have -7 armor classes ourselves, so... But again, unfortunately this time it doesn't let us... Same exact stats, but it doesn't let us take his equipment. That should be the last encounter in here. Making really good progress. I'm actually really impressed with what I got the time down to after a couple of practices, but there's still a lot I can do to improve this run. Just through execution of the maps and everything else, and knowing my way. The less I have to use the maps, the faster I'll be able to go. Because among other things, it takes me time to move my window around so I can look at the map. I could try printing it out or something, I suppose, too. But then I'd have shuffle turn physically anyway, so... Okay, that's it. We're out of here, so now we only have one bond left to deal with. Okay, now we want to avoid the roads because... we'll be attacked by many people. Level 8 Ranger. Level 7 Magic User. Now he can learn Ice Storm. Learn Cone of Cold just because. Okay. To the inn. Do another lightning bolt because I have plenty of fireballs. Okay, that should be it. I should be ready to go. Okay, now we're going to journey to the Standing Stone by the wilderness, and here the old man reveals himself. Oh, first we have this random thing. Luckily, it's disabled as well. It makes fun of the Bridge of Death. Now the man reveals himself as Tyranthraxus. He's been telling us how to do it. Hey, thanks a lot, Great Connect. I'll be working on that again probably Sunday sometime, if I get up early enough Sunday morning, otherwise Sunday afternoon-ish, after I take care of Sunday things. Go ahead and save here. Now we can go to Myth Draenor, where the final boss will be located. Oh, Insects. If we tell them our master is Tyranthraxus, they have no quarrel with him, so they'll leave us alone. Let's see. Now I could theoretically also avoid the spirits. I get the crossbows, but I generally have cut out all of my Rakshasa battles now, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else there that's really that important. +5 staff sling is okay, but there's a fake Rakshasa trying to be a spirit there. We attack him and he realizes his plan hasn't worked and he flees. We can encounter spiders that will attack us. The other insects we can avoid. We attack this guy, he vanishes as well. We take the woods. That puts us in the northern city away from most of the encounters I want to avoid. And with this, we've entered the ruins of Mythdraenor. There is some magic items I do want to collect here. We'll go to the rescue against these hounds. One thing I forgot was to use Dust of Disappearance before any of these fights, so moderately problematic. That means the Hellhounds can breathe on me. They can also run up and attack, which isn't as big a deal, but all I can get is 2. Good enough. Luckily, these guys are pretty weak. Especially at this stage of the game. Although attacking my magic isn't great, but she's hard to hit as well. -5 armor class. So Tyranthraxus, if you're unfamiliar with it, is the main enemy of Pool of Radiance. He tells us where to find his treasure now that we've saved his life, although he dies anyway, poor guy. And now he's trying to get his revenge on us. This game is based on the book Azure Bonds, set in the Forgotten Realms, and it features the characters from that, but basically the okay, we find our stuff here, a +5 longsword, and a girdle of giant strength, as well as gauntlets of something, I can't remember. Nothing important for us. Okay, 24 strength on this girdle. Unfortunately, I deactivated it with stuff, for some reason, transferring characters from Pool of Radiance. We bribe these Rakshasa and they leave us alone. If you try to flee or combat, they'll start a battle with you, but they take some of our money and that's all. If they took items, it'd be bad, but since they just take money, I don't need money at this stage anyway, so take all my gems. I don't care. So now we come in here. Tyranthraxus uses his bonds on us. He's going to transfer himself into our bodies now using his transfer powers, and he tries to dispose of the items in the Pool of Radiance, but the priest turns out to be Nameless, who sacrifices himself to temporarily save us from the bonds. Unfortunately, or I guess kind of, he dies, but the fortunate thing about his death is that it's non-canon. What happens in these games, several of these characters make a return in various Forgotten Realms books. Some of them came back in later books and were of great importance, and but everything that happens in this game, there are several characters who die, like Fazal, the leader of the Zentrum forces we were dealing with, as well as Nameless here, but they end up not dying in the canon. They're used in other books and stuff, so kind of sad, but in the book it centers around the book Azure Bonds centers around Elias and Dragonbait, who are our companions in the cult of Moander. Moander was one of the groups that were after us, as it were. They're one of the people who first invented the bonds. Basically, yeah, Tyranthraxus is a semi-demonic spirit that is capable of transferring his body His spirit lives on through the Pool of Radiance, similar to how regular fiends in D&D universes are able to get reborn on their home plane. He is reborn through the Pool of Radiance, but he has no physical form. He has to possess other creatures. And so he likes taking possession of lightning-throwing good creatures. Like the Storm Giant and the Bronze Dragon. But he's hoping to, because we've defeated him, he wants as both vengeance and to get a powerful body, he wants to actually take us over. And then he'll have 6 lives, essentially, I guess, is his plan. Okay, now we want to have as few encounters as possible, but of course we're getting them immediately. So yeah, at the end of Pool of Radiance, Bane, he's an evil spirit that serves the god Bane, the god of death. And Bane called him through the pool, but now he's managed to get his power back. He's connected with the cult of Moander and learned the secret of Azure Bonds from them. Gathered a bunch of allies to help him take control of the party while planning to. My word. I keep getting the same kind of luck in areas for some of these encounters. And he was setting us up to defeat all the rest of our masters so that he could take control of our body. Yes, Bane is actually the recurring villain of this series, too. Everybody is connected to Bane. Secret of the Silver Blades is kind of the one that is the most out there. There are a lot of characters from the previous games that reappear in Secret of the Silver Blades, like the guy we met who was the chief of the Ulash Guard there. He is the mayor of the city in Secret of the Silver Blades that summons us. And Sasha, the clerk who is giving us all of the rewards in Pool of Radiance, has been sent as a diplomat to the Black Circle in the new Vertigus area in Secret of the Silver Blades, but Bane has nothing to do with it. However, Bane's forces and his primary servant are the final boss of Pools of Darkness. A Glazrabu demon, I think, very powerful one, is who his main lieutenant is they have to defeat. I can't remember all the demon names. I haven't dealt with them quite as much. Okay. And now I've lost Twitch chat. That's awesome. Too many reloads. Ah, goodness. There we go. Yes, it's kind of the neat thing is that each story can be pretty standalone. Knowing who Tyranthraxus is and having defeated him makes him reappearing as the main villain here a little more poignant, but it's not. Sheesh. Golly, my encounter luck is so horrible. But it's not strictly necessary to know that. He's the only thing that really carries over from Pool of Radiance, for instance. And it's really neat if you recognize the characters in from the other one, but like, for instance, the commander of Ulash, you didn't deal with him that much, so it isn't really necessary, like, oh, I don't understand who this guy is if I haven't played the previous game and saw him there, or, you know, and the council clerk, of course, it's just more of a wink and a nod. Pools of Darkness ties them all in a lot more. That one's a lot harder to fully enjoy without, sheesh, maybe one more and I might have to just take the fight. I was really hoping for a... I was really hoping for a sub 2, but this encounter luck is making that seem unlikely. Two clerics, I'll take them out fast. Okay, good. Last level. Okay, final room. Alright, let's go ahead and use another dust. Let's go ahead and trade this giant to blue, so blue can get some really big strength as well. 21 strength, not as good as the 24 from the Girdle of Storm Giant strength, but good enough. Cast Haste. Cast Bless, cast Prayer. And final battle away. Now, there are many encounters in here you can fight, and that will reduce the amount of enemies in this room. But if you've still got your Dust of Disappearance, it's a whole lot faster just to blow them all up at once. Especially if you have lots of necklaces of missiles that do a lot of AoE damage. But even if you're playing without using glitches to multiply your equipment, if you've saved the Dust of Disappearance you got at the start of the game for this, the final battle, it makes it a lot easier. Even without necklaces of missiles, you can take out this entire group without too much trouble. Just let your mazes use all of their wands and spells of Fireball and Ice Storm. Use up the... make sure you've got your haste spell going, your potions, your girdle, all of that stuff, and you'll chew through them fast enough. Just in a speedrun setting, nothing's faster than doing that 15 damage times 9 for all the characters that we're hitting. Secret of the Silver Blades is the most standalone story, probably, because, again, it's got a couple of character connections, but you're summoned to the city, it has nothing to do with Bane or any of that, so it's a very self-contained story about the Silver Blades and the Lich that they defeated or sealed away in New Verdigris, who's regaining his power. And so you have to find their long-lost, frozen in magical cryostasis last follower and... unite with her to reseal, or to kill the Lich, finally. Protection from good, because Tyrant Draxus is in a good-bodied creature, protection from good is actually a useful buff for this final battle as well. Okay, that's it. Oh, I am going to get a sub 2. Excellent. And so with the Gauntlet of Moander, we're able to destroy the Pool of Radiance, get our last bond done away, and Tyrant Draxus is defeated for all time. You are free at last. I call time on the final text box since it's shortly after. Take you to a fine feast. You have won. Boom. 159.25. I got it sub 2. So nice. Yeah, since he is an evil spirit inhabiting it, but it's just kind of, I guess, a ruling that they made because he always likes to inhabit good creatures. It's the same thing with it's kind of funny in a way that it metagames itself in the D&D format, because again, you know, the whole point that the Zentil Lord leader wanted. Hey, Omega number. Yep, just made sub 2. That's a pretty nice improvement there, and I could still go further. There, even with encounter luck was mixed. That at the very end was really bad, but there are other places like the Cave of the Beholder. It was really good. But even just knowing the maps a little bit better will go really fast. And Pool of Radiance, I need the pretty much no maps at all anymore. So this is getting to the point where it's almost short enough that if I get a little bit better at that, I should be able to do mapless here too, and that would make this cut out another probably 10-15ish minutes I can work off easy. But a 20-minute improvement from my third official run of this that I've actually recorded and posted is pretty darn nice. So now be working on this a little bit more, and on the combined run then I need to start working on seeing what routing is needed for Secret of the Silver Blades. Secret of the Silver Blades was my favorite to play casually, but it feels like it's kind of daunting as a speedrun because it almost feels like a full completion is necessary for the game. It kind of requires you to go through the entire thing, and as far as I've found, there's not a lot of skipping you can do. Yep. If I I did a combined run last week. For the first time, completed it for GOG.com for their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/GOGcom, to show it off, because I am playing these from their Forgotten Realms Archive 2 that you can get. Yeah, the combined run right now, the one I did, is came in at a little more than 3.5 hours, which isn't too bad for the two games. I was a little surprised it was that quick. I put the estimate at 4.5 because I wasn't quite sure. I'd never actually completed it before. I did it for the first time in that stream. Yeah, there's a couple more as well. Like, you can do it with the Kryn series. Seriously, Ultima 3 character into Bard's Tale? That's interesting. I didn't know that that Lord British made Bard's Tale. That they had a similar developer there. That is really interesting to know. But there are a couple of other of the SSI's Gold Box series that you can do that with too. The Kryn series, which I'm probably going to take a look at. I never played the Dragonlance Kryn version of these Gold Box games, but that is something I want to look into once I've had my fill of these ones. And the Gateway to the Savage Frontier and Treasures of the Savage Frontier is another 2-part adventure seed in the same format, though slightly larger. I think they even have background music and stuff. I can't remember, though. Been a bit since I played them. But that would be fun to play again and route into. If I can get it into a measurable time, it would be really fun to do a 4-game combo, ultimate combo run of this series, but that's probably going to be really hard. Right now, I've only poked into Secret of the Silver Blades a little bit, but I figure that might be a 5-hour speedrun all on its own, and Pools of Darkness is going to be something really crazy, so we'll see. I can't remember, but they have them all now. Pretty much all of the old D&D games from the 80s. If you get the Forgotten Realms Archive 2, that has these 4 games. It has Unlimited Adventures, and it has the 2 Savage Frontier games. It's the Forgotten Realms Archive, all the Forgotten Realms SSI games of that format. And then they have the Dragonlance one as well on a separate one, which I haven't gotten that one yet, but it's going to be easy enough to pick up, so I'm probably going to go after that in a little while. But as I say, I've just barely poked my head into Secret of the Silver Blades. I need to work on it more, take a look at what I can do with it, but it should be a relatively interesting run. But it might be very long. It could be 5-6 hours all on its own. I probably ought to try Eye of the Beholder. I never got into Eye of the Beholder much. I preferred the Dungeon Master games, but this is a very similar format. I'll have to look into that. I have wanted to speedrun. I've thought about trying to speedrun Secret of the Dungeon Master, but you can't get your hands on it anymore. So I guess Eye of the Beholder would be a good substitute. Yeah, it's kind of funny how those ported. The music I've got going is actually from the NES version for Pool of Radiance. It's kind of funny that because it went to Nintendo, Nintendo's like, we're not running this game without music, so they came up with a soundtrack for it. SSI never bothered to put music in their games otherwise. But Dungeon Master got a SNES port that was interesting. Eye of the Beholder got a couple of different ones. Oh, nice, Omega number. What was that? Yeah. Well, that's me. I own like 8 world records on speedrun.com, but it's because it's games like this and with extra categories that I've made myself, and I'm the only one who plays them, so... Oh, Legend glitched 20%, huh? Oh, that's a pretty nice one. Most people play Legend 2 or Legend 3, though. That's the one I've seen the most speedruns for. Any case, it's about dinner time for me. This finished at a pretty nice time, so I'm going to be signing off here. But thanks for watching, you guys. It's too bad you missed the main part of it, Omega number. I've been running my stream wrong, I just realized. I had really high bit rate up, so because I was running Soul Calibur 6 last, but this game does not need 5,500 kilobytes a second. So I probably had some dropped frames and stuff in it. Oh well. Oops, don't need to mess around with that either. Yeah, I bet they are. All the glitches in the Legend games are great. But anyway, yeah, take care. I'm out. See all you guys later. I'll probably stream some Soul Calibur Saturday and then some of the combo Pools of Radiance and Curse of the Azure Bonds sometime on Sunday. So look forward to that. Until then, later.